maybe the last line of cartilage left that causes that could prevent this thing from going to some bone on bone level of friction, if you know what I'm saying.
I do.
So that would be my answer for best comeback. All right, let's go to most original thinker. And I'm going to start here because it follows up with the last category. I'm actually going to go with Bill Maher for most original thinker. Now, I would love to jump in the DeLorean and go tell my 2004, 2010, 2014, hell, 2019 self that I was going to sit here on my show in the year-end day script and say this, okay? But it's what I believe is true, so here we go. I look at what Bill Maher is kind of on a one-man mission to try to bring the Democratic Party back into some form of the American mainstream and save it from potential voter backlash of unprecedented proportions next year. I mean, I'm watching him, Rachel, for example. This is some of the stuff that when we started Conservative Review years ago, we were trying to have these conversations with the Republican Party. Like, do you guys realize no one cares about being a corporatist whore, but they do care what the curriculum their kids are taught in school and whether the border is secure or not? Do you guys realize this, right? And being corporatist whores is going to lose us every damn election and fulfill every Democratic commercial about us ever, right? He's trying to do that now on the Democratic side. He's like on a one-man fireside chat. Hey, you guys know all white people is racist is bad and 70% of the public is white, right? We literally said that on the show 2 weeks ago. All right, so I'm going to give him my commendation for most original thinker this year. And Rachel, I'll go to you next.
I love what James O'Keefe and Project Veritas are doing. I think the way that they've been doing this for a couple of years now, obviously they most recently are in the headlines for the Ashley Biden journal. But the reason I love them is because they weren't just like every other thinker on the right that was like, you know what, we're going to try to set up an organization and send out some press releases. They found a creative way to fight like the left fights against us, and they've had massively good results. And so I think he and everything that the whole team at Project Veritas is doing is new, and I love it.
Okay, Tom?
My answer is Bill Maher's brother from another mother. It's Dave Chappelle. His last two stand-up specials just absolutely nuked the transgender movement and Jussie Smollett. I mean, he did that bit early on and just called out he said, you guys all know this is a lie. I mean, he just refuses to play your games. The guy lives like back in his hometown in Ohio. It's like a small town. Mm-hmm. He had a fantastic interview with, I think, David Letterman of all people, but he was just like, these are just, decent people, and we all will just want decent, normal things in life. And to get that back, he goes out and uses foul words and language just to break people out of their comfort zone and says, you're all lying to yourself, and I'm not standing for it.
Paul?
Yeah, for me, this is more most independent thinker, and it's similar to what both you and Todd have said. A handful of people come to mind. It's Dave Chappelle, Joe Rogan, J.K. Rowling. These are not conservative voices, mm-hmm. but they have clearly thought through their positions to the point where they're not going to back down from any sort of public pressure or manufactured outrage. And I think that takes a lot of courage in today's day and age.
Aaron?
I'll say Aaron Rodgers for some of the same reasons. If you would have had on your bingo card the things that he said and the critical thinking that he displayed in this whole flap regarding his vaccination status and things of that nature, if you had that level of critical thinking on your bingo card coming from Aaron Rodgers, congrats to you. I surely didn't see that coming, and I think I think that says a lot, at least about where people are going to get their information. If Aaron Rodgers can come to those sorts of conclusions and stand up to the mob like that and even call out the woke mob, I think there are a heck of a lot more people who are doing the same.
All right, let's see what we do. We got like literally 45 seconds. Most stagnant thinker. Let's do it quickly. Anybody who is still watching Lindsey Graham and Sean Hannity get to the bottom of nothing. All right, that's my choice.
The return to normal American. You know how much that drives me nuts.
Well, guys, Sean Hannity is still doing monologues about Hillary Clinton's emails. He's been running the same show for 5 years. He has to be most stagnant thinker.
I got it. Hey, man. When he's right about that. Aaron?
Glenn Youngkin.
What do you think, Rachel?
Yeah, I'm going to say almost every single GOP governor, Eric Holcomb specifically from Indiana, these guys want to keep talking about pocketbook issues, and they're letting the vote sail on what the federal government's doing and on cultural issues, and that's so 2008.
All right, we'll come back. Hour 2 of our 2-hour edition of the Year-End Day Script is next. Stay tuned.
This is Steve Dace on the Blaze Radio Network.
My mind is blown at what is going on right now, and I've had enough. I'm frankly very angry. I might not sound angry. I think part of it is because I think I always sound like I'm smiling because I have these dimples and just make it sound like I'm smiling. But
Hi, this is Amber from the A-Team. We're going to talk today about using your webcam and YouTube to be able to capture some webcam footage that you can use for flipped instruction. So the first thing that we want to make sure we've done is checked our settings, and we talked about this in the last video. But once you're on the account tab, you're going to want to click on channel status and features. When you're here, you're going to want to make sure you're on the channel tab and on the feature eligibility tab. And what we're looking at are the features that require phone verification. Because we're going to do live streaming, we need to make sure that we have this enabled. This is also the feature that allows for custom thumbnails and the longer than 15-minute videos. So you're going to want to make sure this is enabled. So if that's enabled, we can proceed to what we're going to do. Now, at the very top of your screen, you'll notice I have a little Go Live button, and I also have the Upload button. But this is also available in your Create menu where you can go live. So either way, whether you click from here or here, I'm going to go ahead and click Go Live so we can take a look at some of the things. Now, the first thing you may be asked is if you want to use a webcam video or not. There may be a menu that comes up that says, do you want to do your stream now or later? And if it says now or later, when you're doing your webcam, you're wanting to do it now, not later, because you're sitting here, you're wanting to create that video, so you would choose now. So what you're going to do is make sure you're on the webcam tab on the left, and you're going to put a title. So I'm going to call this Welcome Students, because I'm going to make a welcome video to introduce myself to my students. I do like to make sure that it's private until I am sure that it's ready to publish. So that's something that I'm going to always choose as private, because right now I'm just going to live stream with myself because I'm just using it for the purpose of recording, not for showing to the world. Also, you're going to have to make that decision. Is it made for kids or not? This one is made for kids, so the great thing is you get to choose it as you make it. The reason it's asking you this is when you record a webcam live stream, it automatically stores it in YouTube. So you do have to do that step for COPPA and make sure that you indicate if it's student friendly or not. Also, I'm going to click on more options because this is important to make sure that you choose the correct camera and the correct microphone. I'm actually going to change my microphone to the one I'm using now, which is my Zone Wireless, and then I'm going to go ahead and click Next. So now that I'm here, I'm going to get that countdown. So what that's doing is it's creating a stream preview. It's going to show you what it's going to look like. So you also can upload a custom thumbnail so that the live has a thumbnail. Well, I'm not going to use it for publishing live to the web. I'm going to use it for recording, but I do need to retake this thumbnail because I look like I'm asleep. So I'm going to do retake thumbnail. So there's my thumbnail. Also, if I need to change something about it, I can click edit and I'll go and be able to get those same edits. So you notice this gives me time to see what it looks like before I go live. So this is actually a really great feature as a stream preview. So I'm going to go ahead and click on go live, and I'm going to show you how we would go about recording. So I'm going to click on go live, and then I'll get my countdown. Hi everyone, it's so nice to see you. I wanted to give a little bit of introduction to myself. My name is Miss Garvey. I'm going to be your teacher this year, and there's some things that you should know about me, blah, blah, blah. And so this is how we would record the video. So now let's go about showing you some things that are here while we're here. So you would actually make your video. One of the things that people make the mistake of is staring at themselves instead of staring at the camera. So one of the things that's just a best practice is to make sure that you're actually looking at the camera lens so that you feel that you're connecting to your students. But I do want to take a few moments and show you around this live stream window so you can see some of the things you have available to you. So at the top, you're going to see live, and whenever that's red, it means you're live. You're streaming, it's recording, it's going to go onto YouTube. Then we have our countdown, our count up that shows you how long you have been recording. So now I've been recording approximately 56 seconds. It also shows you how many people are live. And if you're recording this for flipped instruction, you're only ever going to see one because you're not going to ask someone to join. You're just using this just for the recording purposes. You'll also have this little likes thing, but again, nobody's in here with me, so I'm not.
Lock and load. This is Steve Dace. The Steve Dace Show.
Back with hour 2 of part 2 of our special year-end edition, the perennial 2-hour year in review day